Hi, my name's Hannah. This is my final project video for Social Work 101. The resources this semester have taught me things that I believe will be enormously beneficial to my career as a social worker. I have learned about white privilege and race in a way that supports and expands on the knowledge and understanding I've gained this year as civil rights have taken center stage once more. I appreciate the different angles in which the resources address this, both head-on and in terms of the side effects of racism and what is being done about it. I see one particular connection between many of the issues that the resources are addressing, and that is the theme of empathy, or a lack thereof. Dr. Perry's video on this topic was impactful for me, and I could see how a lack of empathy relates to race issues, colonialism, social disconnection in children and adults, and a variety of other problems facing society today that social workers address. One very important thing I have been learning this semester in class that has been reinforced with my other classes is an Indigenous viewpoint and relational worldview. I am glad that this class and others started the semester acknowledging the Wiyot land that we are on and educating us on the history of that land in colonialism in California. Through learning about this history and an Indigenous viewpoint, I've been challenged to step outside of my linear Western perspective to consider more holistic views of situations. And I'm becoming better at considering what defines something as a problem and considering a variety of factors in a person's life that may be out of balance and contributing to the issue rather than only focusing on the issue itself. I've seen how this holistic approach can help to bring out strengths in a person and their community in order to find balance and well-being once more. I think that this lines up with competency 2, which is engaging diversity and difference in practice, particularly with respect to work with Indigenous and rural communities. These resources have presented some new perspectives for me to consider. I didn't disagree with any of the resources, but I definitely had to observe my own paradigm and biases that hadn't led me to consider something like that before. One resource that stood out to me was explaining white privilege to a broke white person. I've had conversations with people living in poverty who are upset that someone would have the audacity to call them privileged when they face housing and food insecurity, medical issues, discrimination, etc., and where their skin doesn't seem to provide them with any apparent advantages. This article gave an interesting answer or viewpoint to consider in that situation based off and relating it to the White Privilege, The Invisible Knapsack by Peggy McIntosh, and acknowledging how white privilege and socioeconomic privilege often go together, but not always, and some of the points that McIntosh makes would not apply to every white person. Some of the resources are hard to relate to personally on my life experience, based on my life experience. I belong largely to groups that offer me privilege. I'm white, middle class, cisgender, female. I cannot speak to the resources that focus on experiences of the BIPOC communities. I've been learning so much this year, even before this class, about life experiences different from my own, particularly in regards to race issues and the focus that has necessarily been shifted to them this year. However, I can relate to some of the other resources based on my life experiences. Mental health issues, including substance use, have impacted my family of origin and extended family intimately, and I can relate my life experiences in these areas to the resources regarding that. I can also personally relate to the resources discussing mental health specifically related to COVID-19 and the impact of significantly reduced human interaction, schedule changes, etc. I have seen it in myself and my young siblings who are still in school and are suddenly not seeing their friends or taking part in activities that were once a significant part of daily life. I appreciated the first assignment to identify community resources because it helped me look for resources that I did not personally relate to or knew people who would benefit from such resources. It helped me to feel more connected to my own community and surprised me with what my city, county, and state have to offer that I didn't know existed prior to that. I've had the unique opportunity to be taking this class concurrently with the first semester of classes in the social work major. I've been learning in depth about the social work profession. It is very interesting to go back and forth between seeing the introduction and broad overview of it in this course to more in-depth theories and practices in my other courses. Social work as a profession seeks to enhance the well-being of people, their families and groups, and their larger communities and the environment by empowering them to use their inherent strengths and connecting them to resources. Something I love about this profession is how diverse it is. The social workers themselves are diverse, as well as the clients they serve, the communities they work in, and the different subfields within the larger field of social work. I'm very excited to enter this field, knowing that such diversity awaits me, and I'm eager for the experiences that I will have serving people.